Okay, good afternoon, committee members and other parties of interest. This oral presentation for RFP 25-00378, CMAR for the CDBG-DR Single Family Housing Repair and Replacement Program is being held in part by means of communications media technology. Active participation will be for committee members and presenting firms only. A recording of the meeting will be made available to the public and all other interested parties. Please be advised that the cone of silence is still in effect. All meetings and correspondence must include me. My name is Ethan Kersey, and I'm the buyer for this project. Again, for the record, this meeting is being recorded and will be posted online at a future date. At this time, I will ask each committee member to introduce themselves for the record, beginning with the committee chair.
Good afternoon, Rob Hendrickson, Management and Budget and CDBG-DR Program Manager.
Good afternoon, Audrey Ziegler, Social Services Department.
Ralph Parkinson, Management and Budget, Criminal Justice and Grants Management Office.
John Muller, Facilities and Real Estate, Hillsborough County.
Brenda Valencia, Affordable Housing. Kim Rogers, Water Resources Department.
Kara Williams, Architectural Services Manager for Capital Programs.
Nicole Gelber, Affordable Housing.
Presenters, if you would today, especially since you all seem to be in the same room, please introduce yourself for the record the first time you speak today as well. Our presenters will have a total of 60 minutes, 30 minutes for presentation and 30 minutes for Q&A. The committees advise that they may ask clarifying questions regarding any information provided in the firm's written proposal or that the firm brings up during today's oral presentation and interview. I will be timing your presentation and will signal you when there are 2 minutes remaining. Immediately following the presentation, we will move on to the Q&A portion, where I will also track your time and provide a 2-minute warning. I will start your time once you begin to speak. And with that, Lemoine, I will turn it over to you.
Great. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to introduce myself and our team. Ben Diebold, I'm Project Executive, President, and part of the ownership group here at Lemoine. With me are Charles Connolly, Vice President of Recovery and Resiliency, Josh Stark, Project Principal and Operations Manager for our Recovery East projects, Sarah Will, the CMAR Pre-Construction Lead and Lemoine Operations Manager, Chad Herndon, the CMAR Construction Lead, Heather Brothers, SME on our Construction Management team, and they're both owners and partners from our partnership with H2 Bravo. We'd also like to recognize our partner builders who are here with us today from across the country. Their presence reflects how integrated this team is and our full commitment to Hillsborough County. These are company owners who have been instrumental to this effort, including Tim McCoy with Surge Resources, Eric Fries from JW Turner Construction, Trevor Miley with Timberline Construction, and Kevin Jenkins with Rizzo Construction. Also here with us are Kendall Bruce and Reed Bruce, our finance and compliance part of our team in partnership with H2 Bravo. This project team you'll hear from today, Chad, Heather, Tara, and Josh, along with their deputies and partner builders, are the exact project team that will mobilize to begin operations for your project. We lovingly like to let people know that this is not a shotgun wedding, or pick your sports analogy. There weren't any last-minute trade deadline deals getting to this state. We've all been working at our companies respectively for years, not just weeks. And this team did not form just around this proposal. It's a cohesive group of owners and executives working together as one unit and one team. So I want to set the tone for how we'll intend to work with Hillsborough County, not just in this presentation, but throughout your program. Plan on being responsive, collaborative, and transparent. And those aren't just words, they're commitments. We're going to demonstrate them today by doing something pretty simple, just answering your questions that you raised from our first meeting. You told us that what you wanted to understand, so we listened. We structured this entire presentation around giving you direct, honest answers. And we see this as first of many of opportunities to show you what it's like to work with Lemoine, how we listen, how we prepare, and how we follow through. So if you select us, this is what you'll get, a partner that's accountable, responsive, and ready to deliver. So let's get started. I want to briefly outline what we'll cover today. We'll walk through our team and partners, our experience and approach to program delivery, and how we're positioned to support Hillsborough County long-term recovery goals. So we'll start with one of our primary core values at Lemoine and the foundation of everything we do, which is safety. And we'll introduce Josh Stark.
Thanks, Ben. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Josh Stark, Project Principal and Operations Manager for Recovery East projects with Lemoine. As Ben mentioned, safety is a top priority at Lemoine. Our safety program, LIFE, stands for Lemoine's Injury-Free Environment. The LIFE program is instilled across all verticals of our company and ensures safety is first in everything that we do. I would like to touch on our approach to safety. Our approach to safety focuses on 3 key areas: crew safety, homeowner safety, and community safety. Our crew safety, our field teams are the center of everything we do. Without them, we aren't much. So the focus here is to ensure everyone goes home at the end of every day. People are expecting them to. Secondly, homeowner safety. Their safety is as important as anyone else's. We're working in and around their homes every day, and it's our responsibility to ensure that they're safe as well. Third is community safety. Our job is to complete the work, but not at the expense of others. We make sure our activities do not create hazards or major disruptions for the neighbors and communities that we work in. Again, safety is and always will be a priority for our team. It's not just talking, it's a way of life.
All right, my name is Charles Conley, VP of Recovery and Resiliency at Lemoine and Project Executive. I'm going to talk about our company and history, but at our core, Lemoine is a client-first organization who's the largest CMAR contractor in the state of Louisiana, with experience managing over $1 billion in CMAR delivery. This experience includes multiple $100 million programs, with several programs in the federal delivery models that not only include single-family, but multifamily, infrastructure, mitigation, if the county reallocates any funding or needs additional support in those areas. In addition, we have supported statewide disaster response immediately after hurricane impact. This includes over 450 missions while also operating Type 5 shelters at Hard Rock Seminole Tampa, Baptist Kitchen, and Tropicana Field. Simply put, we have active operations already in Florida. This is expansion, not a startup. And this unique experience meets the needs of Hillsborough County with proven performance and intentional team building. Over more than 50 years in business, we've delivered these complex programs across the country while maintaining high performance and a strong safety culture. This team in this room was specifically built to execute your action plan. We understand the program requirements, the constraints, and the operational realities, and we're well-versed in how these programs actually move from intake to construction. And on that, you asked about our timeline. And while we recognize this is a 6-year grant term, we want to be very clear that that is not how we view our construction timeline. The capacity in this room is structured to deliver homes as soon as cleared files allow, so recovery can begin as quickly as possible. And this unique team is also why we had references that were listed beyond disaster. Specifically, you did ask about Volusia County and why they were not listed. Volusia County policy prohibits staff from participating in reference checks. This was not our choice, as we would have welcomed that opportunity to include them, as we're extremely proud of that partnership and our contribution to the community. Also, we listed Horn BDO as a reference because we are part of their delivery ecosystem wherever they operate. Our management and inspection team have supported their disaster recovery programs for nearly 15 years. That includes currently supporting them on every program in Florida. So we are not learning how to work together. This integration is already proven. And now I want to highlight the team that's going to be driving that integration and directly supporting Hillsborough County. You know, in this industry, there have been two distinct paths to experience. From learning disaster recovery when there really wasn't a playbook following Katrina, to the next generation that has managed the full cycle since 2016, including Hurricanes Irma, Harvey, Michael, Ian, and beyond. In just those 8 years, this group has managed more named storms than most contractors are going to see in a career. And with our core leadership team, you're getting the best of both paths, as Chad has trained and worked alongside our team and many of our partner builders for over 15 years. And Josh and Tara have each spent more than a decade at Lemoine, with the majority of that time working together across Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. And they are supported by our unique bench strength, which is critical to implement this program on time. Our deputies are already leading work streams, and this next generation have been trained under high volume disasters, pressure, and they're arriving to your county ready to perform. Now, Josh will walk you through one of our greatest strengths, and that's going to be our partner builders. Thanks, Charles.
The partner builders on our team, and that you see here with us today, are not new relationships formed for this program. They're long-standing partnerships that are built on trust, accountability, and proven results. This core group has led or supported nearly every major housing recovery program executed over the past decade. They've delivered projects across New York, Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. Different geographies and requirements with consistent outcomes. This team brings programmatic experience that is difficult to replicate. Together, we have rehabilitated, reconstructed, and replaced tens of thousands of homes, applying the lessons learned from each project to continuously improve efficiency, quality, and results. Selecting Lemoine as your CMAR partner is not simply selecting a firm, it's selecting this entire team and the institutional knowledge gained through the years of real-world delivery. And for clarity regarding the production figure cited in our proposal, the 7,000 homes completed reflects the collective total of demolished and reconstructed homes delivered by this group. When rehabilitations and mobile home replacements are added to that number is greater than 28,000 housing projects completed across 10 states since 2009. And on the program experience, this team is not new to the CDBG realm, nor are we new to Florida. With direct experience working in Hillsborough County through the statewide DEO and commerce programs, this team will not be applying for licenses after award or navigating permit requirements on your first project. That experience has already been gained. Every one of these companies has an established office in Florida. Everybody holds an active Florida contractor's license, and everyone is integrated in your system of record, Canopy. Because of this, our entire team can be swinging hammers on the work go. This matters because disaster recovery programs try to learn on the go, stumble out of the gate, and have a significantly tougher time optimizing efficiencies and focusing on scaling when they're focusing on mobilization and startup. Additionally, the panel had asked whether Lemoine will perform as a GC. And the answer to that is yes, but let me explain how. We brought our partner builders for our immediate horsepower and capacity. This will get the program started off fast and on the right foot. And it'll also allow the program to successfully sustain operations until the very end. Lemoine's role as a GC is to recruit and work directly with local Hillsborough County contractors. What we found is that there's a lot of untapped capacity that can be utilized in these programs. The downside is that they haven't experienced the compliance or administrative aspect of a federally funded program. Our construction team's job is to find the best local contractors and let them do what they do best, build, while our construction team supports them on the administrative and compliance side that they're not accustomed to. This model delivers the best of both worlds, immediate scalable capacity, as well as mentorship opportunities that add additional capacity and sees locals helping locals while delivering measurable economic impact for the county. This structure gives us the horsepower. Now let's show you the operational engine that turns this into results.
With that, we'll start in homeowner experience. My name is Tara Will, and I'll be walking you through this. We believe homeowners deserve clear, consistent communication through the construction process. Having worked firsthand in recovery programs with homeowners, I've seen the uncertainty that they face, and it's often their greatest source of stress. That understanding is why we are very intentional about how we communicate with our staff and our homeowner-facing roles. Our goal is to make the construction process as smooth and transparent as possible, so the homeowners can focus on moving forward while we manage the complexity of the construction. You asked to see a few before and afters of homes that we've transformed throughout these programs. And as you'll see, the communities that we've been able to affect and really help get them back on their feet. Next, we'll go into our trauma-informed delivery system. As we all know, disaster recovery is not just construction. It's a service to people who are navigating loss and financial strain and prolonged uncertainty. In our experience, when frustration surfaces, it's rarely about the work itself. It's about not feeling heard or understood. That's why trauma-informed delivery is built into our model. Our construction homeowner liaisons and homeowner-facing team members are trained to recognize these signs of distress and respond intentionally. That means that we explain the process without the jargon. We document all of our interactions so that nothing is lost, and we follow de-escalation protocols. We work through validating feelings, offering choices when that's possible, and knowing when to pause the conversation. How we serve matters because these aren't just homes that we're rebuilding, but they're lives that we're helping put back together. In construction site and safety relocation as part of the homeowner experience, we understand the complexity of working in occupied homes, which is why safety planning is tailored to each home and each homeowner's circumstances. While our preference is always to minimize displacement when it's safe to do so, we also clearly identify any hazards and set protocols specific to that home. Through close coordination and flexible scheduling led by our construction homeowner liaisons, we balance safety, progress, and homeowner needs. We ensure the process remains respectful, transparent, and well-managed. And now we'll jump into the actual execution of the work. When we say assembly line, we mean a gated systematic process. Every step in the correct order with one clear responsible party. Implementation owns intake through environmental clearance. Once a work order is issued, CMAR ownership truly begins. We work through validating scope, compliance, and constructability while helping drive permitting and construction all the way to close out. That discipline is what prevents chaos, exposes our bottlenecks early, and enables the speed that you will see next. We built speed into our model from the start, not through shortcuts, but through structure. For the county, that means seeing multiple homes moving at once for predictable timelines and consistent quality. You asked about the engineer on our team. That role is designed to work as needed with the county selected A&E firm, leveraging our team's experience with the top scoring firms from the county's procurement to accelerate the structural reviews, assist with historical projects, and improve overall project efficiency. Combined with our established Florida partner builders and a deep bench of staff from day one, our capacity scales with program demand. So as volume increases, you will see steady production. In every program, there are risks involved, and these are risks that we're very well known to, which involve around environmental, subcontractor performance, cost escalations, weather, audits, and staffing. From an environmental standpoint, we have multiple lead-based paint renovator certified team members, along with asbestos and historic preservation subject matter experts. We engage them early to recognize risk and apply the appropriate controls. Because each risk has a defined control built in from day one, the county experiences steady, predictable production and not reactive firefighting. Another question you asked was how will we coordinate with other vendors? And the answer is through structured, predictable touch points. We operate on defined meeting rhythms so that information moves intentionally from the field to leadership. We have daily field coordination, and that is to review construction activities on a daily basis and resolve issues quickly. Weekly production meetings to focus on pipeline health. Bi-weekly leadership syncs between the CMAR and county's leadership, so we can go through production rates, dashboards, and trends. And monthly executive reviews to focus on program level performance and making strategic decisions. This keeps structured teams aligned, decisions timely, and production stable.
Thank you, Tara. Good afternoon. I'm Chad Herndon, responsible for construction oversight. Before we begin talking about production and timelines, first I'd like to discuss a few key tenets that set the conditions for construction being executed at scale. First, I'd like to start with how we measure ourselves, our field operating standards. These are our internal operating standards, or the discipline that drives everything we do. How do we manage performance, you ask? First, we track first time inspection pass rates, we measure cycle times, and we treat change orders as the exception and not the norm. For every homeowner escalation that may develop, those are all reviewed by leadership. Look for patterns to proactively prevent repeat issues. The takeaway is that you see the results and not the internal noise. Next, let's talk about how we build the workforce that delivers your program. Josh touched on this earlier, but subcontractor management is the engine that powers CMAR production. We start with rigorous subcontractor screening. We evaluate many criteria, just one of which is how we evaluate capacity. What we typically look at is a project superintendent ratio, where we like to see 8 projects or no more assigned to each superintendent. Before any subcontractor touches a work order, they go through program-specific training. Topics include Section 3, environmental requirements, and homeowner customer service, which we feel is important because service matters. And our work doesn't stop at training. Each day, our CMAR field team is in the field and on-site supervising work, resolving issues as they arise. All of this is what ensures consistency, compliance, and predictability across every project. What happens if performance issues arise? What matters is how quickly and effectively those issues are corrected. Our intervention system uses triggers that include warning flags, such as deficient inspections that are observed, homeowner complaints, administrative issues, or safety concerns. Our proactive monitoring process has steps that escalate from beginning with coaching in the field all the way up to, if required, removing assignments. We anticipate, intervene, and protect. We resolve the issues internally. We handle the issues so that what you see is the solution and not the problem. Now let's walk through how we control scope and maintain cost discipline. Before any subcontractor mobilizes, we do a full scope validation in the field. Throughout construction, every phase is documented in real time with photos, logs, and material checks. When a condition arises that may require a change order, the evaluation is collaborative and transparent. We validate the need, confirm the cost, then we walk through the justification with the county. Using the controls that we've discussed here, our programs strive to manage and control change order rates. This stabilizes budgets and keeps production moving smoothly. Quality control is the biggest driver of cycle time. So our Q6 system is designed to prevent rework before it ever happens. Before any work starts, we conduct a trade-by-trade pre-work review and verify that the site is fully ready to start construction. During construction, every phase goes through a structured QC inspection. Before concrete is placed, before walls are covered up, or before paint is rolled. We catch issues before they're even ever passed over. Once the work is complete, QC performs a walkthrough to confirm that everything matches the approved scope of work. Then and only then are inspections called for. This approach significantly reduces rework, which drives higher first-time pass rates. All this means fewer disruptions to the project and smooth execution. And we know smooth is fast, always. Subcontractor oversight, early intervention, strict quality control, all come together to produce reliable, repeatable construction timelines. For reconstruction, we average a 60-day cycle time. For rehabilitation projects, our team has produced 45-day outcomes. And for MHU replacements, with a combination of strong logistical controls and rapid site prep, we've consistently delivered 45-day results. These numbers have been produced by the group of builders you see here today before you. These timelines are a direct outcome of the process we discussed and we've walked you through. Everything we build in the field is backed by a real-time documentation process.
Hello, I'm Heather Brothers with H2 Bravo. Our documentation system is one of the biggest differentiators in our approach. Every daily log, photo, inspection results, and QC review is available for upload directly into Canopy. What's important is that nothing is batched at the end. Our teams upload as they work, which ensures that every home is audit ready from day one. Audits occur at any point during a program, and many times years after construction is complete. The accuracy and organization of documentation today is what protects the county's market. So while the field controls ensure the work is done right, the documentation system ensures it's captured, verified, and preserved, giving you the complete confidence that compliance is built into the workflow, not added afterwards. All of the field controls, inspections, and documentation processes you've seen so far feed directly into our integrated management system, IMS, and produce the monthly and quarterly dashboards you will receive. Your dashboards will show exactly how many homes are in each stage of the assembly line, what we have in pre-construction, how many homes are under construction, the number of inspections scheduled, and number of completed homes. You'll also see assignments to top subcontractors, completions per year, and number of projects in each subphase. This information ties directly back to our subcontractor intervention ladder, so you have visibility into all performance monitoring. Together, these dashboards ensure that Hillsborough County always has a clear line of sight into performance, compliance, and outcomes without surprises. These metrics tell you not only what we're doing, but how effectively we're doing it without you having to chase updates.
Throughout the presentation, you've heard the who, the when, and the how. I'd now like to touch on how this process directly relates to the project delivery method. Seymour Project Delivery offers both financial and operational benefits to the county. Early involvement between our team and your A&E firm promotes collaboration and incorporates constructability into the design and potentially finds cost-saving options throughout it. This allows for a cleaner, earlier design and allows us to confidently price the plans during the design development phase, which results in standardized base costs that are able to be applied to establish GMP with full transparency. This transfers the financial risk away from the county and shifts the responsibility to us to execute within the GMP. Operationally, you get a single point of accountability for construction execution. We establish the operating procedures for our contractors to work by and provide the oversight and enforcement on the workforce responsible for completing it. This alleviates you from having to facilitate dozens of contracts or manage daily activities of dozens of contractors. Our team fields the calls, manages the complaints, handles the disputes, and ensures what's handed back to you is completed on time and within budget. Otherwise, it's our burden to bear. You get speed because we've established capacity ready to deploy and proven processes that allow for repeatable workflows. And most importantly, you retain the ability to adjust as the program evolves, and any savings are returned to you at the completion of the project. I'd like to touch on two other things that were brought up during the evaluation period. And the first one is liquidated damages and how we handle them. Our view of LDs is that they are a tool, however, never a first option. In fact, we lean on our process that you've heard about today to minimize it. If we have to administer liquidated damages, the process is black and white. Dispute period must be completed before the final payment is released. We allow our contractors to provide documented delays that were outside of their control, and our team reviews and determines any relief that can be granted. Any remaining liquidated damages are then applied against the open commitment. Secondly, you asked about how we handle payments to our builders. We allow all of our builders to bill for work completed on each project at a 50% and 100% basis. Our office team ensures the documentation is compliant, and our field team ensures the work is complete in the field. Once both boxes are checked, we pay promptly. This allows our team to continue production without bearing the cost throughout.
So as we near the end here, I just wanted to share a quote that reflects what we believe your experience will be working with this team and our recommendation from some lessons learned. This is Kelvin Hill, the Director of Disaster Recovery Housing Programs for Louisiana's Office of Community Development. And in Louisiana's procurement for Hurricane Ida, the state selected 2 CMAR firms, with their thoughts being that they would get more capacity and drive competition from the management level. But a few months after selections, we began receiving calls from builders listed as part of the other construction managers' teams. They were ready to work, but they weren't being engaged by the team that they were part of during the proposal process. So we went back to the state and asked for permission to bring those builders onto our team, not for optics, not to make a point, but because when a housing recovery program is on the clock, the most important thing you can do is ensure every capable resource is being utilized and aligned behind the program's outcomes. So Kelvin's response was simple. It's not often I have the opportunity to work with a prime contractor that is transparent regarding principled entrepreneurship. And that's exactly what we're offering to Hillsborough. Select Lemoine as your construction manager, and we will bring our builder capacity to your team. So Hillsborough has the full strength of this market behind one program immediately. without wait, without months of additional bill requalifications. We will even ask both of your other presenters today to mobilize with us as part of the Lemoine team. They already work with us successfully on other programs. We have MSAs in place. They are managed successfully by this group daily. Let the program have one accountable CMAR and let the construction ecosystem behind it compete where it should, in the field, in performance, in speed, and in results, and not at the management level. Hillsborough needs one mission, one vision, one set of outcomes delivered with maximum capacity, and we ask that you trust that mission to Lemoine. So we'll close with this, just as Director Ziegler's department motto says, we believe that service matters. And this program isn't just about construction, it's about serving families who have been through disaster. Every decision we make, from how we communicate with them to how we train our crews, will reflect that commitment. Construction is what we do, but service is why we do it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We will move directly into the Q&A portion, so I'll turn it over to the committee.
Questions? You guys got questions? I have. I do. Okay, I'll go. Hey, in your proposal, I read something about 30% capacity if you're starting. Can you speak to that a little bit again?
The 30% capacity at start.
Yeah, it said basically, let me tell you what it said. Hang on a second. So Lemoine currently utilizes roughly 70% of Florida management and field resources, leaving a confirmed 30% reserve capacity for new programs. Please explain what you meant by that, please.
Yeah, that's management capacity. That's saying that across our programs that we do in other counties and at the state level, we're constantly developing new contractors, new management, team members, working them through our ranks, and we have available resources to go. That's also saying, that Chad, Tara, Josh, others are coming off of projects in Texas and Louisiana and are available now. So that's the capacity we're speaking of.
Okay, so you don't see it as you're ready to go on this project. I guess what I'm asking.
We are.
So I noticed, I looked at your example projects. And I always look at example projects and match them up with the key people you've presented. And it looks like our key people here are Josh, Tara, and Chad. And they have experience in Alabama, Lee County, Texas, several other places, but I didn't see them specifically mentioned on the example projects. Were you three part of those projects?
Yeah, Josh runs all of our east operations, Tara our west. Chad directly managed Texas GLO's program. If it's the form document you are looking at, there are programs that they have not worked on, such as the other CMARs at the hospitals and the LSU facilities, but those recovery projects they've worked on together.
Okay, thank you.
Would you guys mind shifting your main screen to the room? You're about an inch tall and we can't see your faces.
Great idea.
There you are.
Now we can
Thank
see you guys better too.
Much better.
Hope everyone's well.
Excellent. Thanks. Thanks. I'll follow up with a question. I'll have more probably. Just give the team a chance as well. Can you tell us? You talk a lot about a local presence, but I have a two-part question. One is, how many of your full-time staff are actually located either in Hillsborough or the surrounding counties? And the next question is, when you talk about engaging with our local GC and contractor community, how many of those have you personally partnered with on projects?
Oh, I'd say we have a dozen people across the surrounding counties embedded in the, some other projects as we await the outcome of this one. We have an office in Dunedin, in Pinellas, in Lee, in Volusia, as along with, our other partner builders. We share some resources with those. Charles, what do you think of the other part of the question?
So, yeah, regarding the individual general contractors that we've engaged with in the area, that is currently ongoing. Josh?
Yeah, we have a campaign that's like, we want to work with Lemoine, that we've gone through like Chamber of Commerce and others to put feelers out. The complicated part with that, to get them under contract for this, our MSA often refers to the contract that we have, right? Like if there are specific things that are passed through terms down to legal, we'll sign our MSA after we have the contract to enforce. But we've done some local outreach. Our engineering firm is regional, has an office there. These builders all have subcontractor base across the county that we've used since, Hurricane Irma.
Thank you.
And that emphasis heavily is prioritized at the beginning of the program. This is similar to our approach with the partner builders that we have here, allow for the program to kick off and get moving while we really get involved with the local contractors and onboard and get them spun up to start providing construction soon thereafter.
Yeah, it's a big part of our Section 3 outreach, getting involved with UCF. We have a partnership with, I'm not sure if you guys know, Dr. Chris Emmerich that works at UCF is probably the, best person when it comes to unmet needs. He works for us as a contractor, regularly. We have job programs that run through UCF for, outreach, and it often just needs a physical location for us and full-time leadership to get behind making the commitments to the community on, getting those Section 3 programs rolling.
Okay, so your partner builders are basically an affiliation of contractors you bring to the area to get started. They may not be from here, and then you expand your reach after landing. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, we'll expand the Hillsborough County particular reach after we're there. Now, say we all have had offices and projects rolling there since Irma, and definitely after, Michael and Ian. So we are using locals already through our partner builders. It's not just outside excess capacity. It's managed local capacity, subcontractor trade, et cetera.
Gotcha. How do you guys engage with the small business small business contractors? How do you source? How do you ensure that their performance is adequate or better than adequate? And how do you keep them meaningfully engaged on the team? Can you speak to that for us, please?
Yeah, it's the toughest part of what we do. There is a steep education curve. I'd say we start by hosting subcontractor fairs. Like if chosen, we would do that with you as the county. Like, a lot of these business leaders, better than we do. You give us some credibility. Like, we are looking for vendors across the board. We advertise, with the Chamber of Commerce. We do a lot of targeted and, marketed online proposal just to drive activity through those meetings. We, keep all of our enrollment open. That way, anytime a builder can find, our site or someone from the county, forwards it to them, they can always come try to be a builder with Lemoine. And then we assign, a knowledgeable person to them on our subcontractor team to work with them on the education curve when it comes to the pace, when it comes to the documentation, when it comes to, working with Xactimate. How the insurance world and how a lot of GCs use Xactimate is different from how we use it in the recovery space. There's not this establishes, how much money we have. When those things are made part of a grant agreement, the exact line items must be completed, to be compliant. It's not just establishing a GMP, it's a line item budget that they, have to go execute. So it's a lot of education. We put a lot of staff into it. That does not mean that, we put a lot of cost into it. That is, where we're taking kids out of, I say kids because I'm an old man myself. We take local graduates and put them into our, mentorship programs, and they'll work alongside Tara and Josh and Charles and Chad and Heather, and they'll, sit in on those subcontractor meetings, and then they'll be the liaisons to the team.
I'd also like to add our IMS allows easy visibility and transparency into their projects. So we're able to see where they are, if they're running into any hiccups, and then also walk them through prompt payment packages and everything necessary so that they continue that cash flow. Because that's also a hard part of these programs, and we need to make sure that they maintain cash stabilization.
We smother them with support is the lovingly way to say it.
So you guys would if required or needed to keep them engaged, pay them even on a weekly basis, even if it precedes you being compensated for your invoicing to us?
Yeah, absolutely. That is a big part of what we do. It is, as it comes to us acting as the GC, because on those permits, it would be Lemoine, and we likely bring in some of those firms as subcontractors. If they can't float the cash part of it, we'll act as the bank and treat them as a subcontractor and report that up to the program as well. They don't all have to perform at the prime level to be included.
Okay, thanks. One quick question. I'll let the team have a chance to talk. It may have been what you covered, but just to put a finer point on it, how many rehabs and how many reconstructions have you done in Florida to date?
Collectively across the team, I believe we have 6,500 completions across the state of Florida. Across everybody you see here in this room.
A lot of MHUs from Timberline, probably about 1,000. And we're going off our memory on this, reconstruction. Heavy Panhandle and Southern Florida stuff from Michael in that number.
So how many reconstructions out of the 6,500, and then the balance will be repairs, roughly?
Well, I'd say a little over 1,000 reconstructions.
Okay.
2,000-ish MHUs, and then the rest is rehabs.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I'll take a breather. Did you guys jump in? Question? I just had that one. Anyone else have any questions?
My question was more about, I saw the chart you had of all the contractors that you're planning on teaming up with. And you spoke a little bit about training and support. So do you get them all together to do that training together so that the quality is consistent, or are you working with them individually? I'm just curious about that.
It's, to drive the competition, we do regular meetings with them all. I mean, as you can see, a lot of us have been working together for a long time, but it's a healthy competition in that, you never know who is going to have the prime contract. We're used to working together in a competitive scenario. But we have individual weekly meetings with the subcontractors. But some of that monthly stuff is, bringing in not just the leadership on the teams, but also ownership from, those groups to make sure if there's any real corrective action needs to be made, the owners can impress upon their teams, the emergence of those items. It's constant training, that not everyone does trauma-informed care. Not everyone does the amount of Section 3 work that we're going to require. So pushing those things down to compliance level, at the end of the day, we're not going to pay the cost of this construction unless the team is compliant. That means producing the documentation that we want, following the processes and procedures that we want, and executing the level of excellence that we demand to be called Lemoine.
In a more strategic question, obviously by the time we, sort of break ground on some of these projects, rehabs, et cetera, we're going to be looking at about 18 months since the conclusion of Hurricane Milton, with a lien preceding that by just about 10 days. Can you speak to us about what the unique challenges might be delivering this program with that amount of lapsed time behind us?
I think that it's great to get things going as quickly as possible. You've definitely picked the right program manager to make sure intake eligibility and, getting files that are ready to go and easy to do means you get completions done quickly. I think there will be challenges, at the permitting level, at the HOA level with MHUs. There'll be some community outreach that's necessary to get the business operators behind the program, right? Politicking with the HOAs is, that's a terrible word to say, but convincing them to accept the units that we're providing, convincing them to not use this as an opportunity to run on, getting a ridiculous amount of site work done at their parks. Like those kind of things are obstacles, but it's the things that our group are the best at. Like not just Timberline Regional on our team. There's not more MHUs done by anybody but those two companies. I'd say 80% of the industry's MHUs are done by those two companies. So we have the experience to go out and do it in this market. That the team that has been doing that since, Ermine and Belong in the central region likely have worked in those places already. If that answers your question.
And to expand on that just a little bit, the specific challenges will heavily be revolved around communication. This is the first time that a lot of these individuals are getting constant communication from somebody since these storms, upwards of 18 months ago, and that there's a case manager who's reaching out, taking them through eligibility and intake, and then finally somebody to talk to them about construction. So one of the things will be the expectations and what they are expecting, the level of finish they're expecting, and really what the damage assessment yielded and what will be completed in their home. That will be one of the challenges, is just effectively communicating what is going to take place in their homes. And then secondly, like Ben mentioned, the permitting. A lot of these permit offices are not prepped and ready for a large influx of permit applications to be submitted to them to review, whether there's plan reviews involved or ownership documents that may be missing. They're not ready for a huge influx. So the focus on our side, at least, is to get in front of them constantly and let them know what's coming down the pipe so that they have a better idea of what's coming to them. So when the influx does come, they're either staffed up or are staffed accordingly to be able to process them efficiently.
Or even augmented through one of your other contracts or ours, right? It's a unique approach to having an E firm outside of the CMAR or the PM. That's one that H2 Bravo has managed exactly in New York. That's, another reason why they're on our team. But I'm certain that's why they're there, right? Is to sit inside of the agency and the counties and help us coordinate those meetings with City of Tampa and your larger population centers.
Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about how you manage warranty claims and what level of visibility that gets in terms of how senior your staff person is who's assigned to that important function?
Yeah, Josh, go for it.
Sure. At the final inspection, the applicant is provided a warranty claim form, which will give them the point of contact in the event they experience a warranty item. So they'll have that form from the day that we step off the project. If they have something, they'll submit it directly to our team, our warranty team, who will vet the warranty claim. And if there are things that are applicable warranties, i.e. it tied to the scope of work that was completed at the house and isn't, deferred maintenance or anything along those lines, our team will get that warranty claim to the assigned contractor that completed the work, and they'll have 48 hours to review and schedule an on-site meeting with the applicant to go over the warranty claim items. If it's easy fixes, flipping a breaker or something along those lines, they'll knock it out then and there. The applicant will be provided the warranty claim form to sign and say that the warranty has been completed. If it's longer and it takes, procuring materials, so on and so forth, that warranty meeting with the applicant is to establish the timeline and what they can expect to see the completions done by. The work will get done. We'll typically send one of our field inspectors out there at the completion of it. And the same form is provided to the applicant to sign off in detail of the items that were completed. And the warranty resolution form supports that completion.
All put in canopy, all escalated to the case management, all visible to the client. And how we manage that at the business level is we like to keep people's warranty percentages below 5%. So if they have warranties on more than 1 out of every 20 assignments, they're likely going to have payments withheld from us until they resolve those things. And there are unique instances where there are recurring claims from our, one-off out of 100 applicants that, are calling us for something that has nothing to do with their original scope, but are unhappy through the process. And those warranty claims are always going to be visible to you guys through your case management, through Canopy. With our comments and, without trying to hide, this is the visibility and transparency that we talk about. If we think this person is just a little bit lonely, I'm not going to feel bad to put that in the notes. We want your team to know what we're experiencing, good, bad, or indifferent.
And I'll also just add a key turnover. Our team is very sensitive that it's a wonderful day for the homeowner. And we'll walk them through how to operate anything in their new home, make sure that they're comfortable in their new space. And that generally helps alleviate warranties, because a lot of our warranties end up being something easy happening that they just didn't understand. So we make sure to really take our time and make that a joyous occasion, but also make sure they're comfortable in their new home.
Yeah, many of them have had just prior experience with, negative outcomes with government programs. So we realize that we're trying to overcome that, obstacle with them while giving them something that could transform their family, for generations. So we treat them with care through the process.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Any, I'll do one more around the room.
I have one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So your IMS system, I'm assuming, is some proprietary type system that you guys use for that. Do the warranty claims run through that also? And then what happens at the completion of all of this work? Is there like a download of all of that that's housed in there? Like, how do we, I guess, surmise what happened throughout the history of everything for our own records?
Yeah, we have some proprietary systems that are just, quick base dashboard driven things, low code things. Ideally, we propose those because we can make anything that the county wants to see. Us as partners of Horn and users of Canopy know that the majority of it can be run out of there. And then what you just be seeing is Power BI dashboards for our activities, set aside. But if there's anything that's not existing in Canopy that you want to see, we can create. And if the county wants a download to keep with your record keeping standards for 3, 5, 7 years, we can generate that as often as you want.
Let's go twice. Well, on behalf of the group, thank you for your proposal and for your time and helping us understand a little bit more about your business and how you go about it. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys. We appreciate you being on here, and we appreciate your flexibility with us throughout this process.
Thank you all.
Yes, as you know, we're meeting here in about 20 minutes. We'll be meeting again to discuss all the firms here, so you guys are more than welcome to watch that live. And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.